Stop it, don't.
Well, when I left the Stones, I just wanted to get away from that music. I've been doing it for 30 odd years, and decided to get my life in order. You know, private life. I'd had a few things happen. My dad had died while I was on tour, and my marriage had gone up the chute, and I got myself in order, got married again. I had 3 little girls, and then after a couple of years I thought I'd get into music again, but in a different way. So I decided just to do anything, any kind of music from any era, any style, and just got a few friends together here and there and just went in the studio about once a month, 2 or 3 days, and cut 6 or 7 tracks. And by the end of the year, me and Terry looked at what we got, and we had about 78 masters of country, blues, soul, rock, jazz, rockabilly, boogie, jump music, all kinds of stuff. Then it was a matter of deciding where to go from there. So we sort of searched around and found a record company, BMG, and released our first CD, which was mainly sort of rock and roll-y, but not quite what the Stones were doing, but more traditional stuff. That was quite successful. They asked us to go on the road, so I had to put a band together permanently. And the band I put together is very close to the band we've got now, with the exception of 1 or 2 players. Georgie Fame on organ and vocals, doing all the soul, jazzy, bluesy things. He was around in the beginning when we started at the Flamingo Jazz Club in Soho in 1963. He used to sit and watch us, and we used to love watching him because he'd sing all those Mose Allison songs and stuff like that, which turned us onto that kind of music.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It would. We just have to decide whether we go down or take a vote.
On drums, we got Graham Broad, who's worked with us before on various projects. He's a great drummer. He plays with an assortment of artists, from Roger Waters through to modern kids. Just about everybody he's played with, and is a very tasty choice drummer. On bass is me, but now I've changed my style of playing. I played more like, so that I sound more like an upright double bass feel. You can't always get the sound because of the slap. You can't get that dum, but you can get the feel of it and the notes they might play rather than a guitar. Terry's on mostly on rhythm guitar with a bit of soloing and some slide guitar. I've known him since 68, 69, when he was in a band I produced called Tucky Buzzard, and he's my good ear for tuning and things like that, and complicated chords that I have nothing to do with, because a complicated chord in the key of F is an F to me, but to other people it's a sixth or a tenth or a major with a suspended something or other. You know, it all gets all very complicated, but he knows all that, so he covers me on those things. On the other guitar is Albert Lee, of course, a phenomenal player, mostly playing country, rockabilly, early rock and roll styles, but he can do other things.
I'll tempt fate by telling you I've never broken a string on stage in over 20 years. That is tempting fate telling you that.
For 3 years we had Martin Taylor, the jazz guitarist, as well, who replaced Peter Frampton. And that brought a whole new angle into the band because he was playing great jazz licks and he can cover all that side. And the difference between him and Albert was really interesting because one's playing rockabilly, one's playing jazz, and they could mix, you know, and that was great. Martin's now left because he comes back occasionally, but and works in the studio with us sometimes, works on charity shows, but he's pretty much on his own with a solo career. So when he's available, we have Andy Fairweather-Low come in from the Eric Clapton band, because Andy goes way back with us. It's Willie and the Poor Boys in the 60s and in the 80s, and I knew Andy from long before that as well. So there's basically Albert and Terry on guitar, sometimes with Andy. Then we got 2 horn players, Frank Mead and Nick Payne, who are very talented. They also play flutes and things like that. When you want a nice ballad from the 70s, they can put flutes on it. And when they're live on stage, they're moving all the time and doing these funny movements. And when I glance around sometimes, I never know what they're doing, you know, and they might be both doing their horns up here or doing a sort of funny walk, or they go stomping round going doing chicken sounds and all that. So they're very good visually. And they're very easy to get on with, and we work out the horn licks and all that very well with them in the studio. On piano, we had, as I say, we had Gary Brooker for at least 3 years, and then Gary got busy with Procol Harum. So, and wanted to, of course he gets more money with Procol Harum, obviously, as the leader. So I replaced him a couple of years ago with Mike Sanchez from the Big Town Playboys originally. He's a great front man, he's a great keyboard player, good singer. He sings all that 50s blues shout stuff and rock and roll stuff. But he can sing the occasional ballad, very nice, Brooke Benton stuff. He's great live, yeah, because he's a bit of an extrovert, and he goes mad on stage and gets out in the audience and gets all the audience up off their seats when they're a bit shy, and ends up rolling on the floor and leaving a trail of sweat behind him. You know, he's like a snail. But the audience love him because he is quite a character on stage, and he's got a lot of charisma. And then, of course, we got Beverly, our girl singer, who's been with us right from the beginning. Everybody in the band sings. Backups: Mike, Albert, Georgie Fame, Terry. They all sing backups, and also Nick if he's not playing horns. So we've got that the support of the backup artists without having girls there. So we can keep it down to a 9 or 10 piece now. It used to be a 12 piece. And Bev's phenomenal. She'll sing anything from Billie Holiday to Ella Fitzgerald to modern ballads, soulful things. So, and she can mix. She sings songs as a duo with Georgie Fame sometimes, or as a duo with Mike Sanchez.
There've been there's been quite a few changes of lineup, but each time they're always the same sort of characters. I think Bill's very careful to have people who are band, comrades who are really into that camaraderie of getting on, who like the music as well. It's very important to him that you're into that, because obviously it makes everything so much nicer and so much easier.
You've got to have that. It's, to use a sort of corny phrase, it is like a family thing. Everybody gets on with each other. If they don't, they're out. We don't want problems in the band.
There's no real egos in this setup at all, not in this band. It's great, I mean, you've got someone like Albert, monster talent, and look at him, he's like an old slipper. He's lovely. But it's true, yeah, we kind of just, you don't think about it, you just get on with one another. We just get on with it. You know, we're back on the road. Sometimes I find it a bit difficult first thing in the morning. We're all laughing and smiling, but...
My mum bought this for me.
Cheap old piece of shit.
You know, you feel the quality
10 quid, I know, I feel it.
Danny! Look at that, look, look.
10 quid.
Look, it's got all around my fucking trousers.
He's a lovable guy. He's no problem at all. And like I say, he'll find you anything and sort out anything at any time, no matter how drastic it is, anything goes wrong. He'll always come up with some solution. He's great with the budget, with Terry. They put a really tight budget together. And we scrape by.
This is high finance going on here. It's proof that Tony does actually pay out the money sometimes.
323.
That's better.
That's what I said.
No, you didn't. You said 225.
What did I say? 323.
Just get your money out.
It's not a band that is going to earn a lot of money on the road because there's 9-10 people. And there's also some crew, so it works out about 16 or 17 people. And you're doing small gigs for a sensible price, ticket price. And you've got travel, hotels and all that kind of stuff. So there isn't a great lot left at the end, but it's a nice share out for everybody, and it probably entices them to continue with us. I mean, some of them turn down really, really good gigs to work with us because they prefer to work with us than with other people. Yeah, it was just a complete mixture of stuff, and that's what I was more interested in, doing more variety in music, you know, and more back to the roots than creating new things. And if I was writing with Terry or independently songs, they were songs of the style of the music that we were doing, more traditional style. So I'd write a song and it sounded like it was from the 1940s or 30s or something, or 50s. And it all worked out very well, and we've continued since then with a similar kind of idea, just picking choice songs I find from the past, little gems that you come across, and recreating them and sort of modernising them a bit, but trying to maintain the mood of the original. There's always a lot of covers, obviously, because that's where we get our material from, because it's roots music. But on each album, there's probably a third or a quarter of original songs that sound in the style of that early stuff. And if they're compatible with the rest of the songs we've chosen to go on the album, then they go in. If they're not, we put them on the shelf. Like on this album, as in all albums, you pick 8 or 10 from the new recordings that are right, that work together, and you might pick 2 or 3 off the shelf that you haven't used on previous albums because they weren't right for those albums, but now they fit with some of the things on this album. And then 3 or 4, maybe a third or a quarter of the songs are original songs by myself and Terry.
Says you're a cutie when you shake your booty to the ground. Everybody says you're a cutie when you shake your booty to the ground. When you shake it to the boss.
If you're going to do that sort of thing, you've got to have musicians that know that kind of music and know the feel and know what you're looking for. And that's why we don't use very many young musicians, because if we bring a young musician in, we've got to kind of teach them what was there before, because they don't usually go back that far in their early years as a musician.
When you shake it to the boss.
Who's singing that?
There is someone, isn't there?
Who's doing the high tone voice? Oh, Mike.
Is it me?
Well, somebody.
No, we were practicing. We were working out where it was.
Look at one.
No, where it is.
Yeah, but I'm saving myself.
use it all up straight away, do they?
Yeah, well, when we record it, we want to get an atmosphere into the song, you know, and some dynamics. And the best way to do that is to play live. We did try computer, you know, recording with computers, and that we didn't like it. It's too repetitious, too much time getting a drum sound, blah, 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 getting the hi-hat right. So we just decided just to go into the studio, 5, 6 musicians, and get a bus off each other, and record that way. Well, we have so much fun with this music, and it's great live. I mean, it's great to record, and it's great to go out and play. I think it's just good time music, and it's dance music, and the audience just love that. And the people see us, they can see we're having fun. And the other great thing is it's not just like they come and see us and we've got one singer. Every song is sung by someone different on stage. Mike will sing one. Beverly comes up front and sings. She does a lot of the backing vocals, but she also does 4 or 5 of her own songs, sings her own songs. Georgie Flame will be singing one. Albert sings one. And then we've got Bill to sing a couple as well now.
I've been extremely lucky with the people I played with over the last 40 years. That I've always played with someone that I've enjoyed. You know, Chris Farlow was great for 4 years. Heads, Hands and Feet was a lot of fun. It was only a couple of years, but it was very interesting. It took me to America for the first time. The Crickets is always great fun to play with. I've done like 2 or 3 albums with them. Joe Cocker was a great band too. There were some really good players in that band, and he was tremendous talent. Amy Lou, as I said, was just a great influence and just established me as a country player in America. Then Eric Clapton, of course. A lot of people got to know me through Eric. And then on to the Everly Brothers. So I've been so lucky going from one great gig to another and always enjoying it, you know. So it's, you know, it could have been a lot worse. I could have had to work with people that I'd hated, music I'd hated, but, you know, fortunately people have always booked me for the way I play guitar. So it's always been music that I've liked, you know.
It's gonna hell. Baby, looks like it's gonna hell. Better come inside and let me teach you how to drive and well.
I love doing the Louis Prima tune and the Johnny O'Keefe song, which I've been doing for many years, but we're doing it in the original form that I used to that I cut it. You know, this is Real Wild Child.
I'm a real wild one and I like a wild fun in a world gone crazy. Everything seems easy. I'm a wild one. I'm a wild one. I'm a wild one. I'm a wild one. Gonna break the deuce. You're gonna keep on moving wild. Keep swinging, baby. I'm a real wild child.
This band is very tight. We've all been playing a long time, and the music is such where even though there are a lot of players on stage, there's still room for everybody to do what they want to do. You know, Bill has invited us to play for what we do, you know, and you know, there are certain restrictions that you'd have to follow because of the band is so big, but I think everybody really gets a chance to do what they do best, and you know, this has been so much fun that I'm happy to be able to keep doing this.
Thank you.
When I joined the band 3 years ago, I took over from Gary Brooker. So there were songs that I had to learn that Gary was singing in the set. And most of them fitted what I was doing. Songs, for example, like the Bill Wyman, Terry Taylor tune, Jitterbug Boogie. It's a whole lot of shaking going on type thing. And that's right up my street.
Oh, let's rock and roll. Come on. I saw a girl, she was big and tall. She never stops dancing and having a ball. She gets full of whiskey, bourbon and gin. She's tight like that, well, she can shake a thing. I'm a little darling, let's go jitterbug. I asked for her number, didn't give me a chance. The way she was moving was a whole new dance. I said, hey.
Bill's picked us all and he's formed this band because he knows what we're all going to deliver. And what we deliver is something that happens, it just happens on stage. What can I say? It's just a real honor to be involved with such great people in this band. I'm lucky.
I think the original intention was really just to sort of make a nice CD, maybe do one promo gig and see what happened. And then 5-6 years later, the tours are getting longer and there's the 6th or 7th CD is coming out. So I was delighted to be a founder member of the Rhythm Kings.
They got arches in Mexico, come on.
You're lovely, Terry. You're lovely. In a different bubble.
It's a great band of friends. We've all known each other for yonks. And we all grew up at the same time, listening to the same kind of music, loving the old blues and the early rock and roll. And that's really why we get together. It's a nice bunch of people. You know? Even drummers have been known to sing when you're on the road with the Rhythm Kings. It's a fun team.
Good morning, Captain. Good morning, shine. Do you need another music?
It's having that feeling you wake up and that's it, the gig. There's two sides to it. It's great, I love playing. I love playing live because you're more free. But the downside is never being at home, you know. And I try and make a happy medium. I've always been with Roger Waters since he's been solo. Apart from one album, 18, 20 years I've been with Roger. And he has a tour that coincides with Bill, so I can actually, I'm solidly out with Roger for 5 months. Then the next day I'm on the tour with Bill, and so you're never home for 8 months.
That's the reality. It's the reality of it.
Life on the road.
Yeah, what time do we get up? 6:30. Get to bed at 2, get up at 6:30. Yeah. Late nights, early mornings. Yeah.
When you're younger, your tolerance to things is a little greater, and as you get older, I mean, there are those of us who like to drink a little bit, and I find that if I'm out too long on the road, that starts to get to me. You start feeling a little bit unhealthy. It's difficult I find it difficult to keep myself in shape when I'm out on the road.
8:30 in the morning, Frank's drinking again.
It's not 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah. We're having tea though, Alan, aren't we?
We're having tea.
Yeah. We're having tea.
They've got gin in there.
Frank and Ian are on
Steaming
8:30.
gin.
Oh, yeah.
I have a set duty to do on the bus. I mean, we obviously make sure everybody's on the bus first. Well, then we have a game of cards. There's 4 of us that play this game of Chase the Ace, I think they call it. And it's Bill, Terry, Beverly and myself. And we enjoy that.
Tony usually ends up with what we call the bumhole, which is the person that loses all the time. And I'm leading at the moment, fortunately, and Bev and Terry are pretty close. Tony's way behind always.
It does get a bit rowdy at times, the odd swear word, but it's something to do on the bus basically. I mean, we look forward to that.
Now the thing about this card game is,
He likes to win all the time.
me and Beverly play sensibly.
Here we go.
Terry sits on the fence and doesn't take one risk.
And always wins.
Takes every risk possible and
There you go.
messes up most of them. That's the logic behind these players.
Tear it up! Tear it up! Tear it up! Come on, little mama, now tear that dance floor up one more time. Tear it up! Tear it up! Tear it up! Tear it up! Come on, little mama, now tear that dance floor up. Good night!
You know, I'm very proud of the 31 years I had in the Stones. You know, we achieved a lot of things and did great stuff, and I have great memories. And I'm still great friends with them all, obviously. But I'm also very proud of this band. It's just a joy to watch people's faces when you play, and we never finish a show without a 10-minute standing ovation, both at the end of the concert, before the encores, and also after the encores. It's building all the time, and it's very nice to know that it's appreciated.